I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. Peace and safety to the hopefully let all the Akim scattered across the four corners, pushing his word in sincerity and in truth. This is another edition of Drop the Mic. And what I'm going to drop the mic on in this edition is the chariots of the Most High. And basically that's the hot topic. And the first precept I want to start with is in the book of Acts chapter 8. And I'm going to show you that the chariots of the Most High are spirits. Okay. So this is Acts chapter 8, verse 39. And when they were come up out of the water, referring to Philip and the Ethiopian eunuch, the Spirit of the Lord caught away Philip, that the eunuch saw him no more, and he went on his way. All right. So as you notice, the Spirit of the Lord caught away Philip. All right. In verse 40, but Philip was found at Azotus, which is Ashdod, and passing through and preached in all the cities till he came to Caesarea. So as you can see, the Spirit of the Lord caught Philip away. All right. Basically transported him, all right, to another city. Okay. The Spirit of the Lord, because the chariots are made of spirits, man, energy. Okay. They're not nothing was so-called made, such as Esau, all right, in his depiction of the chariots of the Most High. All right. That's not biblical. Okay. It's spiritual, man. So I'm going to read that again. And when they were come up out of the water, the Spirit, all right, the Spirit of the Lord caught away Philip. All right. He just disappeared, man. All right. And that Spirit is a consuming fire, which is just energy. All right. Not like the fire that we would see or that you would set with a match or a lighter, a barn fire, so-called. All right. Meaning a consuming light, a consuming fire, a ball of energy, man. And not necessarily a ball, because a spirit can manifest itself in any form, man. Okay. So it says, but Philip was found at Azotus, and passing through, he preached in all the cities till he came to Caesarea. Okay. So this is an example of teleportation. All right. Of teleportation, dealing with the vehicles. All right. Meaning the chariots or whatever you want to call them. All right. So-called UFOs, whatever you want to call it. But they're spirits of the Most High, man. All right. And I'm going to prove that further. The next scripture I want to get is Psalms 18 and 10. And it says, and he rode upon a cherub. All right. He rode upon a cherub. And we know that a cherub, let's look up this word cherub. Cherub, and an angelic being, as the chariots of Yahweh, man. All right. A cherub. All right. Which is a spirit. All right. Which is a consuming fire. All right. Or energy. All right. That's what the so-called white man call it, energy. All right. The Lord called it spirits. So it says, and he rode upon the cherub and did fly. All right. So this is how the Lord is being transported, man. Yea, he did fly upon the wings of the wind. Now, when you look up this word wind, H7307, it's the same word used throughout the scriptures referring to spirit. All right. As you can see here, going down to the Strong's definition, it says wind, breath, life, spirit, man. Okay. So basically, when you go into the scriptures and you look up this Hebrew word, 87307, it goes back to the word spirit is not referring to the wind as you might feel when you feel a breeze come through. All right, that's a different word. So it says, and he rode upon a cherub. This is all spiritual, man. Okay, it's not a like Esau depiction of so-called UFO. Okay, their spirits, that same spirit that caught Philip away, all right, and transported him to another city. Okay, he did fly, he did fly upon the wings of the spirits. All right. Now you have to look up this word 87307. All right, which goes back to the word spirit, man. That's the same breath that the Lord blew into Adam, man. Okay, that word spirit. So now I'm gonna get another precept. Let's see, Ezekiel chapter 8. Let's get that. Ezekiel chapter 8 and verse 2. And it says, then I beheld, and lo, a likeness as the appearance of fire, from the appearance of his loins even downward fire, and from his loins even upward as the appearance of brightness, as the color of amber, referring to the Most High. And he put forth the form of an hand, and took me by a lock of my head, and the spirit, and as you can see, it's the same word H7307. All right, that same word in Psalms 18 and 10, referring to the wind. All right, so it says, verse 3, and he put forth the form of an hand, and took me by a lock of my head, and the spirit, all right, that same wind that the Lord is riding on, lifted me up between the earth. All right, so these are the chariots of the Most High. They're spiritual. They're, as the white man may call it, energy. All right. So it says, lifted me up between the earth and the heavens in the chariots of the Most High, and brought me in a vision of the power to Jerusalem. All right. Just like he did with Philip. Okay. He got transported from one place to another. All right. And it says, to the door of the inner gate that looked toward the north, where was the seat of the image of jealousy, which provoketh to jealousy. So the point in that scripture is Ezekiel got transported, all right, in the spirit, man. Okay, in the spirit. That's what lifted him up between the earth and heaven, man. Okay, that same Hebrew word H7307. All right. So now we get another precept. Stay in the book of Ezekiel, and we're gonna go to chapter 3 and verse 12. And it says, then the spirit took me up. All right. Then the spirit took me up, and as you can see, it's the same Hebrew word for that word wind in Psalms 18 and 10, H7307. And the spirit took me up, and I heard behind me a voice of a great rushing, saying, blessed be the glory of the Lord Yahweh from this place. I also heard the noise of wings of the living creatures that touch one another, and the noise of the wheel over against them, and the noise of a great rushing. All right. So the point is that the spirit took Ezekiel up. Okay. The spirit, man. All right. And those are the chariots of the Most High. Let's get another precept. I'm going to go to the book of Revelations, chapter 21 and verse 9. And it says, and there came into me one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials full of the 7 last plagues, and talked with me, saying, Come hither, I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife. And he carried me away in the spirit. All right, so this is John the Revelator. All right, saying that the Lord carried him away, just like he did with the apostle Philip, just like he did with the prophet Ezekiel. All right, and he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me the great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from the power. All right, so this is how the Lord is moving through the spirit. This is how he whatever you want to call it, transport is through the spirit, man. All right, like I said, this spirit, it can evolve itself into anything he want to, manipulating the elements. All right, such as the clouds, like the brother at ITR brought out, man. All right, let's get another precept. Let's go back to the book Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 11. Ezekiel chapter 11 and verse 23. And it says, And the glory of Yahweh went up from the midst of the city and stood upon the mountain, which is on the east side of the city. Afterward, the Spirit, all right, the Spirit, H7307, took me up. All right, just like we just read in Revelations, man, dealing with John. The Spirit took me up and brought me in a vision by the Spirit of the power into Chaldea, to them of the captivity. So the vision that I had seen went up from me. Okay, so as you can see through the precepts, all right, that the chariots of the Lord that he used to transport himself, to show brothers vision, to take them and show them visions of other places, all right, is spiritual, man. All right, like I say, the so-called white man would call it energy, all right, but the scriptures call it spirit, man, a wind. All right, that same wind, all right, in Psalms 18 and 10, man. Okay, so let's get another precept. 2 Kings. 2 Kings chapter 2 and verse 15. And it says, And when the sons of the prophet, which were to view at Jericho, saw him, they said, The spirit of Elijah doeth rested on Elisha. And they came to meet him and bowed themselves to the ground before him. And they said unto him, Behold, now there be with thy servants 50 strong men. Let them go, we pray thee, and seek thy master, lest peradventure the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh have taken up and casted him upon some mountain, or into some valley. And he said, Ye shall not send. Okay, so once again, the Spirit of the Lord, all right, cast him upon the mountain. That's what he used to basically transport. Okay, like we read in Psalms 18 and 10, he rideth upon the wings of the wind. All right, the spirits. All right, H7307. All right, so let's get another precept. Ezekiel. Go back to the book of Ezekiel. The book of Ezekiel. Salakia. Ezekiel chapter 1 and verse 4. And it says, And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind, All right. And as you can see, H7307. All right. That same spirit, man. That same wind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolded itself, and a brightness was about it. And out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber out of the midst of the fire. Salakia. But yeah, the point was that whirlwind, that 7307. All right. That's that same spirit, man. All right. That same spirit. All right. So now let's get another precept. Back that point up. Exodus 13. Exodus 13 and verse 21. And it says, and the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud. All right. So that spirit of the Lord is in the pillar of the cloud. All right. Just like we just read in Ezekiel. All right. To lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire. All right. So it's all about that spirit. All right. That's within the cloud or within the fire. All right. To give them light to go by day and night. So that's the point on that one. So now let's get Second Corinthians, dealing with Paul. 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and start at verse 2. And it says, I knew a man in Yahushua above 14 years ago, whether in the body I cannot tell, or whether out of the body I cannot tell. The power knoweth, such as one caught up to the third heaven. And I knew such a man, whether in the body or out of the body, I cannot tell. The power knoweth how that he was caught up into paradise, right? Through the spirit. That's the spirit received him up into paradise. All right. Like I say, those chariots are spirits, man. All right. Their energy. That's why in the book of Corinthians, I believe 1 Corinthians chapter 15, it speaks of us being changed. All right. Into those uncorruptible bodies in order to get on those chariots, man. Okay. And that's just what the Bible called them, chariots. Why? Because they're vehicles that's used for transportation. All right. Like I just read from all the prophets, the prophet Ezekiel, John the Revelator. All right. All these guys was transported in the spirit, man. All right. In the spirit. All right. So it says how that he was caught up, meaning translated, all right, into paradise, all right, by the spirit, man, and heard unspeakable words which it is not lawful for a man to utter. Okay, so that's the point on that. Let's get a scripture here in Job, the book of Job, chapter 30 and verse 22. And it says, thou lifted me up to the wind. And as you can see, it's the same Hebrew word 87307, which goes back to the word spirit. So it says, thou lifted me up to the spirit. Thou causest me to ride upon it. All right. So this is how the Lord is transporting, man. This is the vehicle. All right. The spirit, man, upon it, and dissolveth my substance. Just like with the prophet Elijah, man, all his substance was dissolved. All right. And his spirit went up into the chariot, man. He was changed. Okay. Let's get another one. The book of Matthews, dealing with the Lord himself. Matthew 3:16. And it says, and Yahushua, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water. And lo, the heavens were open unto him, and he saw the Spirit of the power descending like a dove. All right. Flying. All right. He saw the spirits, the chariots flying, man. And that spirit there is with a capital S. So that's the spirit of Yahweh. All right. And he saw the spirit of the power descending like a dove, flying, and lightning upon it. Okay. So that's why when you read the book of Isaiah chapter 60, Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 8, and it says, who are these that fly as the clouds? All right, referring to those spirits, the spirits of Yahweh, man. And as the doves to their windows. Okay. So going back to Matthew chapter 3:16. Salaki. It says, and Yahushua, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water. And lo, the heavens were open unto him, and he saw the spirit of the power descending like a dove. He saw the chariots, man, the spirit, the energy, whatever you want to call it. All right, descending like a dove, meaning flying, man. And lightning upon him. All right. And lighting upon him. All right. So it was clothed with a light, man. Like I said, it's just energy, that consuming fire. All right. Like I say, the so-called white man call it energy, just like your spirit. If you touch your forehead, all right, it's constantly warm. Why? Because within you is a spirit, a consuming fire. All right. That never goes out, man. All right. Let's get another precept here in Luke chapter 16. Luke 16 and verse 22. And it says, and it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angel into Abraham's bosom. All right. He was carried by the angel. And we know the angels are spirits, into Abraham's bosom. All right. So the spirits is the transportation, man. All right. The chariots are spiritual. They're energy, man. They're a consuming fire, man. All right. It's not what Esau may call it, okay? And they do come within the elements of the Lord. All right. They can come in clouds, as you read all through the scriptures. That's biblical. All right. It says carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. So he was transported, all right, to another dimension, all right, by the angels, all right, through the spirit, man, all right, not by some damn like Esau might show you on his movies, some clunk of metal, man. All right, that's not what the Lord used to transport, all right, himself or anybody else, man. He ride upon the wings of the cherub, all right, upon the winds. And we know that word winds go back to the word the spirit, man. Basically that's the point. You know, I got more precepts. Lord will we'll go back into it more in depth. I hope you brothers was edified, and with that I'm gonna say shalom.